Hello there and welcome to the Duke process and tutorial video. So in this short video, I'm going to be introducing you to the materials that I'm going to be using to draw Duke. I'm going to talk to you about why this is a process as well as a tutorial video. I'm going to explain how I got the line drawing of Duke onto my art paper. And I'm also going to talk a little bit on how you go about picking your colours. Firstly, I'd like to address that this is my first pastel drawing. I made loads of mistakes and I've got no doubt in my mind that my inexperience in the pastel medium meant that Duke took a lot longer to draw. So this video is part of a process as well as a tutorial. Obviously, when I get used to the materials, I'm much more able to say what I'm doing. But I do invite you to share my learning journey with me. And this means that you may want to watch the videos in advance so you don't make the same mistakes as I did. This includes briefly using colours, quickly went back into the pot as I learn about blending and the limited colour choices of the pastel pencils. Starting with the materials then. Duke was drawn on white pastel matte paper. I think it was around 20 inches by 14 inches. And I used a combination of pan pastels, pastel sticks and pastel pencils. I bought some pan pastels specifically for this commission, a set of colours that would help me with the US flag and the background, and also a general set that had white, black and some greys in there. The Faber-Castell pit sticks were given to me by my sister, and I also had some sticks from a really old Derwent drawing set. It was really good to use them. They've been in my drawer for ages and it was just good to actually put them to some good use. Talking about old, I also had a really old set of Conti Paris pastel pencils. And I didn't actually get to use them much in this drawing. I think I used one or two in total. Otherwise, I bought a Faber-Castell Pit Pencil set about a year or so ago, and more recently some Stabilo Carbothellos. These two pencil brands, they make up the main bulk of the drawing. Now, it might be worth noting that I was only using the pencils that had a really good light fast rating. The rest I'd pulled out and put in a drawer behind me, but you do see at some point in the video I get so frustrated with colours that I do actually bring them out again. I think I used maybe one or two of those very, very briefly. Other materials I used was blue tack, but that was mainly in the beginning. I quickly replaced that with a kneadable eraser. I was aware of the blue tack potentially leaving oil deposits on the paper. Less important, I would say, with flatter papers, but certainly I noticed a difference with the pastel matte paper. For erasing, I also used some magic tape, and I also used a couple of coloured pencils along the journey just to experiment with them and see how they turned out. I was actually quite surprised they didn't work as well as I imagined them to work on top of pastels. For sharpening, I generally used a craft knife. Can't really call it sharpening, as I mentioned on the videos, more of a hacking of the wood casing just to reveal the pastel pencil in the core. On a couple of occasions though, I did use my swordfish crank-handled sharpener. I also briefly used a slice tool at one point. For blending, I mainly used my fingers, blending stumps and the pan pastel tools. However, I did also experiment with a few other materials, which you'll see as we go along in the videos. Nothing really worth mentioning, just a few little bits that I just wanted to see how they blended the pastel pencils. To get Duke onto my art paper, I used an old projector as a tool to trace the image. I had some trouble with these initial lines fading as well halfway through. I did later do some freehanding to re-establish those on my paper. Of course, this is not the only method to get your line drawing down, and I'm sure you'll have your own favourite way to transfer the image. Just do whatever's right for you. I'd like to talk a little bit about colour picking at this point. It's a very interesting process with pastel pencils. I initially compared a lot of the colours with the colour pencil equivalents, but I quickly realised that I was working with a limited palette with pastels. I found colour picking from the photo reference on Procreate largely unhelpful, and I had to rely a little bit of my knowledge of colour theory, which is also slightly limited, and of course experimentation of mixing colours together. For me, getting the colour right was important because it was a commission, but I do recommend relaxing around exact choices of colours with pastel, as it's such a forgiving medium. Blending is so easy and you can often create the colours that you want with a bit of practice. Otherwise, I invite you to work with what you have. This tutorial is not a commission piece for you, so you are much more free to change those colours as you wish. As usual with any process video, there are logistic issues with recording. These include lighting, sound, angle, interruptions, mainly from Pop-It and me dropping my pencils a lot. There are long gaps as I sort out pencils, etc. This is the real-time process of learning a new medium. I'm working with those tiny pencils scattered all over my desk, a load of pencils in my hand, and just trying to find one particular colour amongst that was a nightmare at times. I'm always up for feedback on how I can improve my tutorials, so please don't be shy in coming forward. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, or what you would like, and it really does help me to streamline my process. That's all I have for you with this short intro. I'm now going to leave you with the tutorials. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to be notified of any future videos. If you want longer real-time tutorials, then pop over to my Patreon channel. The link is in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video, and bye for now.